We're going to keep this pop punk train rolling. Shaney from House Parties is in the house virtually, and you're going to be listening to their most recent single that was dropped on their EP, Tiny Rooms. Thank you for being a busy bee and making this work out, Shanny, because we are emo adults that have full-time jobs and just want to do what we do for the love of music. So here we
are. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
You're a champ. You were telling me off there you were working all this overtime and such, and I was like, I appreciate that. I know what that's like.
I am so tired. I'm so tired.
Plus, you make all those TikToks, which I'm sure is even more exhausting.
Oh my God, yes. I usually make a lot of them nowadays in my apartment because I haven't had like a good setup, but I'm actually moving out of this apartment soon. But I usually make them at like midnight or later, like to make them. And it's just so tiring. But
yeah, you plan a whole day to do it. It's a job.
I'll be like, okay, I get off of work at this time, but I want to work overtime. So I can definitely, I'll be up past midnight. So I can just do it past midnight. That's totally fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I do the same thing. And like what I try to do is I try to put like at least like 4 or 5 videos together and then call it a day. And that's like maybe 3 hours worth.
Yeah.
Just plenty of time. It's a lot of screen recording. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh yeah. For recording it really, because I go to my guitarist's place, which is like a minute from my place, and I have to go record, and then he has to have the time to mix it, and then I have to have the time to videotape it. So it's like a 2-team effort when making these TikToks.
The TikTok is technically a job in itself, and you haven't been on very long. However, the community that you've built around you personally, with like the vocals, covers that you do, and then you're also correlating your band and such, it has grown fairly quickly too. Which have you seen that do any drastic like numbers to house parties in itself? Like, are people asking for more house parties now that you're being a very active, emo to the community, like the rest of us?
Yes. Like whenever my TikToks go viral, especially with this last one, the Oh Girl It's You one, and people found out that, that was a band, they're like, follow. Like our Spotify numbers went drastically up. And then, I mean, most of the time they're requesting me to still do like the full version of that cover, which I'm sorry, but I only know that one verse that I sang.
That's all that matters,
I know the rest of the song. Everyone's like, cover it. I'm like, I don't know the rest of the song. No. But yes, yeah, people are more getting into it, and they're like, yo, I actually dig your band. Like, this is sick. And, they hear Tiny Rooms and they're like, holy shit. And, it goes from there. But now since we have an actual band TikTok, they follow that as well. So yeah, I'd say it's doing pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, your top 3 videos are Driver's License, and you did Pop Punk Heart Attack, and then you also did a metal version of As the World Caves In. So
yeah,
I think you found what the people want is your vocals.
Oh yeah, I've got the next one. We've already recorded it. I'm just waiting on myself to videotape it. I think people will like it. I really do. It's I'm doing Happier Than Ever, the bridge part, but more of like a harder style.
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think people like that. So
when
yeah,
you did Pierce the Veil, like I was just like my jaw dropped. I was like, holy shit, her range is like literally right up there with Vic. Like that was insane.
Oh yeah,
it was insane.
I've got a pretty high range.
Not most people can do that though. And it's nice that
a lot of practice.
Oh,
I was
sure.
soprano 1 in high school, so I'm used to singing like the higher kind of notes. So it's a lot easier when like the music I listen to when I sing along or do something is in that higher range. I'm like, okay, cool, perfect. And everyone's just like, "Whoa, you can do that." I'm like, "That's just like my normal range area of singing."
How did you train yourself to get to that range? Like, what
Um,
was your step by step process to make your voice and your diaphragm comfortable with hitting that?
so it all started with me doing choir since like elementary school when I auditioned for like honor choir. I wouldn't really count that because, your head voice used for choir is separate from your other voice used for like not choir stuff. I don't know why I can't remember the name, but I just had done that throughout my entire high school experience. But once I started to get into bands, once I discovered that, it was really Paramore that did it. Let's be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Um, but I practiced a lot of Paramore, and because her range was like right where my range was, I just kind of did this technique where I call it the mimic technique, where I can hear something and I'll just like try to match it. But when you practice it enough in the higher ranges, you kind of just accustom. If you breathe where they breathe, if you put up this amount of like force where they do it, and you like try to sing like they do, you kind of just learn those techniques as you go along. At least that's how I did it.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of learned, and then, there's some days where I struggled, but if you practice every day, it gets easier and you get more control over your diaphragm and breathing and all this stuff. And it doesn't just stop. Like while I would practice Paramore a lot, that's not the only thing I practice. I'd practice a lot of Sleeping with Sirens that had a lot of high ranges. I practiced a lot of pop music like Ariana Grande that had a lot of high ranges in it and stuff like that. So I've just been doing that for years, and then it just got me to where I am today. I don't know. It's so weird.
You just listen to good music and you literally, like you said, you mimicked it and were able to match that pitch. That's the only way. Like, I was in the studio finishing up gang vocals with what we had to do to place them, but
Mhm.
I give my vocals so much credit now because you have to do it where it's like, all right, there's three of us. We want to make it sound like there's 300 people in the room, so we do 10 takes and this and that, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah.
By like take 7 or 8, I'm like, dude, I give you so much credit because I could barely fucking breathe. Like,
Yeah.
this is insane. So
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
how you do it.
it's just like I don't know. It really is just like what the mimic technique is called. It's just you mimic and then eventually you just learn it. And then while, all those years, I found my own voice and how I like to sing, which is not like Haley Williams. Everyone likes to say that it is. But you also learn a lot of other kinds of techniques like vibrato, um, how to get like quieter, more like poppy stuff, like a nice acoustic. Like it's just a lot that you can learn just by doing that technique, and that's just what I've done.
And it's
So,
really caught the attention on social media because House Parties is a fairly new band, it looks like, from the discography. It's just
oh
literally from 2021. So
yeah.
that's a fact.
Yes, that is a
Okay.
100% fact.
Okay, cool. And again, the whole band in itself has a lot coming up in a sense too, which we will dive more into, and I'll just like explain like what is going on for the listener and the viewer. House Parties will be playing the Unsilent Night Music Festival in Texas. That's a huge, and if nobody knows what that is, I think it's like a 2-day festival, and it's like
It's just one day.
it's
For
just one
at
day.
least for this year, it's just one day.
Sleeping
Um,
with Sirens, Fox Sarah, Magnolia Park, the
yeah,
whole like emo vibe to this
yeah.
lineup.
I
So
I'm literally so nervous because I know some people in bigger bands that are well known that like us, and they're like, "We'll try to catch your set." I'm just like, "Oh God, oh God, I gotta be really good when I perform.
we'll
We gotta be really
just have
good."
Josh from Magnolia Park to come on, and he can like make it
Oh,
even
we're
more
already planning
comfortable.
on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's
Yeah,
go. Yeah,
but
because
the
you did
only
it with
thing
their
is,
set.
the only thing is that we don't know our set times yet. We know the bigger band set times, but for locals, we don't know our set times. So we're really like hoping that it doesn't like interfere so we can have these guests come on, like Josh come on, because me and Josh and some of the guys from Magnolia Park are really good friends. So hopefully, hopefully that works out. If not, whatever.
Right,
Interact.
but I mean, I didn't know this was like Warp Tour where you wake up and you're like, all right, what's the set time? Like, I'm so confused. Like,
Yeah,
but
it's weird. It's just so weird because like all the bigger bands have the set times released, but we don't. I'm just like, because I have friends that are like, I want to go, like, what time are you playing? And I'm like, I have no idea. I have
yeah,
no
just show
idea.
up and hang out for the
Just
whole
show
day.
up at
Yeah,
source.
please. Like, let's
Figure it
just hang
out.
out. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
exactly. So yeah, I'm just that's our last show of the year and I'm kind of nervous, but once I get on stage, my all my nerves usually go away, so
That's how it happens too. I said to my bass player, we played a show recently, and I was like, dude, give me like let us open the set, like give me like 10 seconds into the intro of a song, and then I feel way better. Then I'm comfortable. Like I just need to hit those
yeah.
first few notes.
I usually take off my glasses when I perform because one, I headbang a lot. Two, I I will admit I do get stage fright like when people are looking at me, but it's gotten easier. But when I take off my glasses, I can't see anybody, so I can't really see their reaction. So I kind of just it just makes it disappear. I'm just like, okay,
That's really
take off the
smart.
glasses.
That's really smart. Yeah, so that way you have no idea who's in front of you, like 1,000 people or two. But
It just sucks when someone from the audience tries to talk to me and I'm like, I can't see you. Who are you?
yeah,
I
exactly.
can't.
Yell your name or something.
Yeah. Who are you?
Who are you?
Okay.
But this is a lineup though. Nothing Nowhere is on it. Grandson's on it. Sleeping with Sirens is the honorary headliner. They're doing Let's Cheer to This, which is one of my favorite albums from them. If not the
Someone
favorite album.
someone from Sleeping with Sirens is a big fan of us. Nick Martin.
Okay.
Yeah. He loves that. So I think he's gonna come watch our set. And I'm just like, that's so cool. I used to listen to this band in like middle school, high school. What the heck?
Yeah, now they're fans of you.
I know what the heck. But
Well,
yeah.
I hope Kevin, excuse me. I know maybe Kellen's rubbing off on the members too. I know Kellen is a huge lover for bands that are either underground or small, and he makes it his job to talk about them on his Twitter or Instagram. Like he shouts out a lot of bands. I mean, he's
Yeah.
also been featured on so many albums and other underground musicians and bigger musicians too, just to help hype up like what is good there. So
Yeah.
even so, like with Aim High, they had a feature with Keller and Quinn. Obviously the main one is Magnolia Park. So it's like he knows what good music is. So it's like
Oh yeah.
maybe he's rubbing off on his other members too, because that's how you're gonna let the scene thrive, is to just everybody be a collective, group, and like help showcase the upcoming talent. It's the whole
Yeah.
idea.
I'm not sure if Josh hasn't told me. He's like, I'm not sure if Kellen's gonna be doing his part on here. Like, I'm positive, but just in case, you should be ready. Like, okay.
Yeah. So you did it once before.
Oh yeah, that was so much fun. He asked me, and at the time, I've heard like Magnolia Park songs, but I didn't have like all the words memorized. And so he asked me because they were coming through Dallas, and I was like, yes, 100% yes. He was like, I'll guest list you and everything, and I was like, yes, I would love to do it. I'd love to play with you guys. So I spent the entire that day, listening to that song nonstop, which should have been my Spotify Wrapped. I mean, it's a good song. I don't mind. I love that song. But I listened to it nonstop, made sure I had all the parts down, listened to it the whole day before going and performed it. I think I messed up one thing, but everyone was like, that was so good. I'm like, God, I literally just memorized this yesterday. Oh my God.
It's because
It
you're a
was fun though.
professional.
Yeah.
It's spur of the moment. It's like, oh, of course I want
Yeah.
to go on stage with my friends and like feature. Like that's so cool.
Yeah. Like, how could I pass that up?
Yeah, seriously. And they're like the nicest dudes I've ever met. I talked to Josh for
Yes.
like a hot second. I text Jared every once in a while, but like the humbleness is there because all they did was
Oh my
work
God. Yeah.
hard, and
Yeah.
look at what's doing it to them. It's just making them successful, which is awesome. So
Yeah. I just love everything about that band. They're great people. I discovered them from TikTok. I think that's how they discovered me, was from TikTok. And so it kind of just worked out. And now we just know each other. It's
Right. You
fun.
know,
It's
that's
fun.
how I discovered them too. I mean, it's not. It's starting to become a normalized thing, more so. Now you're even seeing the bigger bands getting on TikTok and starting
Oh yeah.
to make an effort, at least, to see like what would be comfortable for them, because it's a platform that can just fucking thrive your music when you have a following in a very collective bubble. You know, those people react so quick to the
Yeah.
content that, if it's great content, they fall in love with you so quickly, and it just, it's a very, very interesting ride for sure. We both know.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, and it's cool, and it's like, okay, like what's the next step? But and the music speaks for itself with house parties too. Is the fact that you're only, a year old in a sense, going on two, and you have that kind of like engagement, and right, the fan base surrounding not only you but the rest of the band is pretty incredible.
We're actually almost a year. February 5th is what I'm marking it as, is when we first released the song. So not even a year old yet. Which blows my mind because I'm like, wow, what the heck?
You're
This
blowing my
was
mind because I'm like, what's next? Like
oh my
what's gonna happen?
gosh.
It's like, I know what's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen. You're gonna have so much friends in this industry somewhere, somehow. You're gonna probably work with a producer that's gonna become a member of the band, and it's gonna help you thrive an album or so. So I'm sure you guys
Oh yeah.
know what you want to do.
We know what we want to do. We've got a lot of stuff planned. We'll just say that. Because some
And
of
you're
it's not set in stone yet, so I'm like not 100% positive, but there's some stuff that I've planned for, especially like the 1 year release of the band. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. But yeah, it just 2022 is gonna hold a lot for us. So we're excited.
you're planning going on tour too.
Yes, in January we're doing a 2 week tour. I am so excited to get out of Texas. I cannot stand it here. I'm so excited.
I don't blame you. And the fact that I'm gonna put this in the description so we can try to fund this. Currently, there's a GoFundMe that House Parties is raising $2,000 to go for tour. There are 13 donations with $1,200 in total. So we only need $800 more dollars. So if we can do that, and if you liked everything that you heard in the intro of this podcast, I would strongly suggest you go donate and get this band on the road, because the cost breakdown is very simplistic for what a normal tour is, especially if it's DIY. I don't know if you're supporting. I don't know if it is DIY. I'm sure that's going to be disclosed, but cost breakdown: $500 for gas. Oh, absolutely. Food and housing. Like, this is, and the vehicle and the trailer rental was like, it's real money. Like, it is not
Yeah,
cheap.
a lot. We're supporting. Um, but you can always donate more if you'd like. You can also, if you want to get something out of it, you can also buy some merch. We have a website. So that too, it's just whatever. So, like, if you want to support us, there's multiple ways of doing it.
and
Everything's appreciated.
and it's still going to be up from here. And if you donate now, you will probably be remembered for the rest of this band's career, which is going to be very, very long. So
I look at, because I get the notifications. I look at everyone who donates, and I'm like, oh, you guys are so nice. There's a guy who donated $500, and I was like, what? Like, what? How do you just have that money just to donate? Like, that's crazy to me. Like, thank you.
mhm.
But like to put all that money towards like a local band, like that's so like I don't know. That's incredible.
Maybe they see
It's
something.
incredible.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They see something
He
that they.
messaged me. He messaged me and he was like, "Have fun on tour." And I or like message us and I was like, "Have fun on tour." And I was like, "I'm speechless right now. Thank you."
Yeah, that's super rad.
We
I love
spent
that for you. That's like
yeah.
Nick from Calling All Captains. I love this dude. I gotta get him back on the podcast. He told me a story where I forget which member it was, but they like got hurt pretty bad and they had to go to the hospital, and the bill was like
Oh wow.
almost like $3,000, and the guy that they were staying with like paid it all like off. And he's like, don't worry about it. He's like,
Wow.
don't worry about it. Just go back on the road, get him back to Canada. Whatever the situation was,
Yeah.
the guy gave it back to him.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
you know,
Wow.
it was so insane.
That's insane.
Which people just they see talent, they support bands like us,
Yeah.
and they want us to do better and thrive. So that's awesome. So
100%. We
um,
will.
yeah, exactly. Like I'm now I'm learning more about you and the band itself and the history. I am like starting to become a little speechless because like this is so quick. This is so
Yeah.
quick. Like, and I'm obviously the talent's there, but it's like, god damn, like it just goes to show, like once you put some hard, work into marketing yourself on social media and like putting yourself out there, like it starts to kind of come to you in a way.
Yeah, I take care of all the marketing and social media. And let me tell you, I since I work mostly during the day and that you have to post like whenever your algorithms are, I will have like alarms set out throughout the day where I go to work and like I'm like, oh God, it's nearing my time. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick and I'm just gonna post and then I'm gonna come back out and just continue doing my job. So I'm just like, I have to do it. Or if I can get someone else to do it, great. But if everyone else is working or I have a specific way that's going to take too long to explain, I just do it myself while I'm at my other job. So I'm just like doing both. And one of my managers was like, you're in a band? And I was like, yeah. And it's like, I do it the social media. So if you ever see me on my phone, I can trust you. I'm just doing other business. I'm not being on my phone because I want to. I just have to do
Right. Exactly.
it.
You're managing your brand. You're managing everything that is with
Yeah.
house parties.
Yeah, it's a lot. But it's fun though. I've learned a lot and I do enjoy it. Like it's a lot of work, but it's work that I enjoy. So I'm not complaining at all.
No, no. I just think, with this podcast and like how I'm trying to bring guests on and stuff, it's like it's good to elaborate. Like, obviously, we're having fun with it. Sometimes we don't have fun with it, but that's life in general. Like, we have our
Hmm.
ups and downs, but like, this is what we're doing to make ourselves succeed and such. And I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it it's I think I've been preaching it for more than like 3 or 4 months. I've really stopped talking about it because it's just the fact that like we get it, like it's TikTok, but no, like some people I think really need to see the value that what it's doing to some of these talented artists, because I see talented other artists and they're not on TikTok or they're not on Instagram reels, and I'm like, look, I love you guys, but like this you need to really get on this, or else it's gonna,
Yeah.
you're gonna work harder and
It's
not
yeah.
smarter for this career, unfortunately.
Hmm. Especially with like being in 2021, everything is so like unfortunately like on like social media. Like you just have to get on it. If you want to spread things out or like spread if you want more people to hear like your stuff or like get noticed or anything, you have to jump on that trend. Otherwise, it's going to be really, really hard.
Who were your main influences growing up that really kind of like pushed you over the edge, like the Kellen Quinns and the Pierce the Veil vocalists? Like, is it mostly surrounded by that? Like, who inspired you to really take your vocals to the next level for what you wanted to do as a musician?
Easy. There's mainly like two bands. I would definitely say Paramore and Pierce the Veil. Paramore because I liked what I love Haley's vocals and I love her lyrics. And I just loved the way, like, I love Paramore as a whole, but more specifically with Haley, I just love how, as like a woman, she's just kicking ass out there. Like, she's just doing her thing and she doesn't hold back. She gets on the more aggressive side of vocals. It's not like your typical female, you know what I mean? And so I admired that, and when I first discovered that, which was before Pierce the Veil, Paramore was one of my first bands. I was like, I want to do that. That's exactly what I want to do. Is exactly that. And then when I discovered Pierce the Veil, I love the band as a whole. But what really stood out to me was like the way that Vic writes is so intricate, and it's almost like artwork. Like I mean it's artwork, but like it's almost like he's painting like a picture for you when he does his lyrics, and because the lyrics are just so like metaphorical, and and like he just adds so much harmonies, and like he really like just gets so creative with how he writes his songs, and that like really stood out to me. So I was like, I want to do stuff like that as well. And he had way more aggressive vocals than Haley did, because it's more of a screaming band. But I was just so like inspired by both of those bands. I was like, that's what I want to do. But recently, when I discovered Stand Atlantic, that's when I was like, right there, right there. What Bonnie's vocals is like,
Bonnie
that's what I want to
kills
do.
it.
Yeah.
Kills it.
I'd like to think because people say that I sound like Haley, but then I don't. I'm like, if I had to say whose vocals I sounded like, I'd be like, if you took Haley Williams and Bonnie and they had a child, I feel like that would be me. I feel like that would be me. So those three are definitely like big influences for me. But I'm also influenced by a lot of bands but those are the main three. It's like
Hmm.
little different parts of different bands that inspire me, and it's a list. But those are the big three, and then the Pierce the Veil and Paramore are like the big two. Yeah.
Paramore is my top 5 all time bands, like 100%. Growing up with that band was probably like the most inspiring thing. For me, I like the whole like being in a band family thing. Like that's how I was. That's how I always was. I just want to be in a family. But Paramore musically, like easy top 5. Stan Atlantic, I forget how I heard about them. I think it was through a Spotify playlist or something. I can't really remember, but it was Pink Elephant, and I think it was Jurassic Park off of that just really fucking just, I was like, whoa, this is fucking nasty. Like, what the hell? And like, I kind of like dived into discography. I'm like, this is so good. This
Oh
is
yeah.
really good. Like, and they kind of have evolved with like, having that feature with Nothing Nowhere and such. It's just, ugh, dude, it's so good.
Oh my gosh.
Stupid.
Their recent single Molotov has like really like inspired me to go like, let's get harder with the vocals. Like, I'm like,
Yeah, let's
that
get fucking
song went
edgy.
off. Oh my God. I love that song. So I'm so glad. I cannot wait to hear like what else they put out, because if those two songs are like what's coming up next, like I imagine what like the other ones are gonna be like. I'm
Hmm.
so excited. I'm
Like and
excited.
then like them and then Hot Milk. They're like
Oh
Hot
my
Milk.
God.
Hot Milk was the one
I
that I
love
discovered
Hot
this year. I was
Milk.
like, whoo, oh man, like this is too good. This is stupid. Like this is
Oh
just,
my
I'm like
God.
finding all of these like super talented bands out of nowhere. This is great. Like,
It's just one of my favorite things when finding like female fronted bands, which is also inspiring because they don't, like when you watch like American Idol auditions and every girl that comes in sings the same way and they do that and it's just the same old thing. But with these bands, it's just something so like unique about each one of them that you're just like, wow, that really captures your attention. Like Meet Me at the Altar too. They're
love
really,
them.
really good. Yeah.
I love
Just
them.
all these bands. Like it's just it's so inspiring to have all these with more like women coming like doing bands and being in bands. It's just like I love to see it. I love to see it.
So I love the diversity throughout, like the scene, emo, pop punk in general. I think it's extremely refreshing because
Oh
one,
yeah.
you're having so many different types of people with so many different types of influences, like that
Yeah.
also like come into the genre in itself. And it doesn't really like sound like anything else. I mean, Meet Me at the Altar obviously has an easy core feel to it, but it's still Meet Me at the Altar. Like I can't like really
Yeah.
put anything on them
Yeah.
as like I think it's like they sound like this band, like they're very different, just like House Parties is. And it's crazy because I was kind of scared for a little bit. I think it was around like I want to say like early 2010s and up when metalcore was like becoming the big thing. I was like, oh my god, pop punk's about to fucking die. Like it all sounds the same. Like it's all the same shit. Like
Yeah.
it's really starting to like, you know, put itself into to rest. Like I didn't think there was going to be a thing. And when I started doing the TikTok stuff, I was like really doing a deep dive in pop punk. There's gotta be like people that are out there. I'm discovering Meet Me at the Altar. I'm discovering Hot Milk. I love Stan Atlantic. I love Magnolia Park. I love Action Adventure. I'm like, I should
Oh
just
yeah.
let's just talk about them. Let's just talk about the pop punk that's just like kind of, revolutionizing this whole industry because
Yeah,
it's so different and it's so good. So
it
like tiny, I
is.
think that's why I also like Tiny Rooms, because I hear a little bit of like easy chord chunk stuff in the verses and such.
Oh
So like
yeah.
that shit
Yeah.
fucking catches my ears so quick. So it's good stuff, but they're inspiring to me for the fact, and to a lot of people, that like they're really changing the game, and that's what we need. We need a
Oh
change,
yeah. 100%.
and it's not going to stop anytime soon.
No.
And again, it's like, I mean, let's take house parties and let's take Magnolia Park, like, or not Magnolia Park, excuse me. Let's take house parties and let's take Meet Me at the Altar EPs. That's it. Oh my God, there's so much room for what the future holds. Like, we only get
Oh
these
my
two
God.
great
Yeah.
EPs. Like, what the fuck is next? Like, are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah, like oh God, I remember back in like 20 end of 2020 when we were planning on releasing just we were going to release Hindsight with the EP. We had this entirely different thing planned out, but then things happened and then we were like, okay, let's just release Hindsight as a single and see how that does. And we changed the artwork and everything and it popped off. People loved it. And I was like, oh, thank God.
I was
This could
surprised it
go
wasn't
one
on the
way or
EP.
the other way.
Yeah, you never know with those kinds of
Huh?
things. I said you never know with those kinds of things, but I was surprised it wasn't on the
Oh
EP
yeah.
for sure. I was like,
Um, for now, you can definitely tell the difference when you listen that I think what Spencer says, our guitarist, he writes all the songs and then did some production work and recorded it, was that we recorded Hindsight at a different time than the other songs. So mixing wise and production wise, they're kind of different. So it doesn't really match the sound wise with them. But to me it doesn't matter. But he that's what he said. I can definitely hear it. So he was like, "No, we should just separate them like this." And I'm like, "Okay." And it worked out that way.
okay, no, that's pretty smart. I mean, and you were able to market it, and like you said, like it did pop off. It has over 30,000 listens, and I don't remember when you released it, in what month, but I think it was the summer, around the summertime, like August, I think,
Um,
or was
for
it
Hindsight, we
September
released it February 5th
of
of
2021?
yeah, of this year.
Okay, because I think I discovered you guys around summertime, so that's probably why I'm
Yeah.
thinking like that's when Hindsight came out, because I was starting to itch for new music. So, what's the goals? What's the ambitions for house parties? Like, what does the band collectively want to do? Do you want to get to that label signing opportunity? Do you want to tour first and see how that goes? Do you want to write an album concept? Like, what is collectively what does the band collectively want to do for the future?
We kind of want to do all the above. Right now we're focusing on, well, first we're gonna focus on this tour to get through that because it's our first like tour. Even though it's only 2 weeks, it's our first tour. Um, so we're gonna focus on that. But after that, we want to write. And I think we wanted to release like not necessarily like an EP, but like just kind of release some singles until we have like I guess like an EP's worth or something like that. It's nothing's set in stone yet. But after the tour, we definitely want to write. But label wise, we definitely want to get to a point where we can get signed to a label. Um, but I do want to stay. I think we all agreed on this. We want to stay independent for as long as we can until the right opportunity comes, even if it takes and if never come and we're doing successful as being independent, so be it. Like
Smartest thing
if
you can do, honestly.
yeah, honest if I think honestly, if certain labels came to us, we would think about it and probably go with them. Like for me, if Pure Noise, Fearless, or Fueled by, but Fueled by is kind of hard to get, so I highly doubt that would ever happen. But
I'm
if
gonna
they did,
clip this. I'm gonna clip that, and when it happens, I'm gonna send it to you and be like, "Remember when you said this might not happen?"
right? But I think I would say yes to those three. Um, I don't know, Fearless could be something. They follow us on all social media and I'm kind of not like friends, but I've talked to Bob Becker a few times. He likes to hear updates about house parties a lot, so who knows? And who knows what the future holds? Well, all I know is that right now we are staying independent for as long as we can until the right opportunity comes.
That's,
Because yeah,
that's smart.
we get
I
to
mean,
keep all
because
the
you never
money.
know. Don't get a 360
Yeah,
deal thrown at you and be like, all right, fucking put my name on the fucking dotted line. No, it's not what you want
yeah,
to do. That's what nobody wants to
no,
do. Unless if
ab-
you're Drake and you can pull that off, then you can do it. Because I don't know how
yeah.
he did it. Dude signs a 360 deal and is like still rich as fuck. I don't know how he did it, but he figured it out. Let's see. So the tour is called Pop Punk Night.
Mhm.
You're also playing with Suitable Miss and a
Van full of nuns.
band full of nuts.
Yeah, the headlining is the headliner is Van full of nuns,
Oh, van full of nuts.
suitable
Oh, excuse me.
yeah, suitable miss and us, and then for some parts as the city sleeps.
Is that
All
what
I
that
know is
is?
I'm just going. Yeah,
As
I
the
think so. Yeah,
city sleeps. Okay, it was really hard to read. I was like, is that the band? I can't
yeah.
read the logo, so I was like trying to figure it out. Have you ever toured personally?
There was for another project that me and my guitarist had back in 2020 at the very beginning. It was like a 3 day tour. Like we went down to Austin or Houston, then Austin, then back up here. And that was it. So that
Experience,
I
yes.
I know that I would love to. I would love to tour. I can do it.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I
I
think
mean,
so.
I do think so too. It's just I was wanted to see how often you put yourself out there for touring and such because some bands don't really take that step. I think that's where it kind of like draws the line for a lot of bands. I know we were a little scared to go on like a 3 week run way back in 2017, but
Oh
then
yeah.
Warped Tour was like, come on for 10 days. And I was like, okay. So like that is like
Yeah.
something you don't
Imagine.
want to miss out on. So like,
Yeah.
but we almost didn't take the 3 week tour. We were like,
Oh my gosh.
jobs,
Yeah.
that whole scenario. So, um,
Um, we're definitely open for touring. If anyone ever asks, like we're available. Like we want to tour. Like let us know. We will like I said, we will make ourselves available to
yeah,
go.
absolutely. And you're doing most.
Unless it's like, yeah, Christmas or something, but we will make ourselves available to tour because I will not miss out on an opportunity. I don't think any of us would miss out on an opportunity. We're all on like the same level of like we're basically on the same page of stuff. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll manifest a house parties Magnolia Park. Meet me at the altar tour. We'll manifest that and see
God,
how that
could
can
you
fucking.
imagine that
I
tour?
can. That would be so fucking sick.
Oh, that would be so much fun. Oh my gosh.
Well,
I
now that
would,
Magnolia Park's going on with Mayday, I think like once they get off of this, like I think it's like around March or whatever, like they're gonna be able to like tour and like headline like a good month or two for sure. So
yeah. If they're listening, you guys better bring us on for supporting.
yeah, let's go, Jared. Come on, man. Let's get them on the
Listen.
road. You're doing Midwest only. Kansas
Yeah.
through Texas, Colorado, New Mexico, Oklahoma. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's sick.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to go to Colorado, but I don't know about Kansas. Interesting.
just don't eat
I like,
seafood when you're out there. That's for sure.
well, yeah.
Because you know.
I'm more like, is a tornado going to appear? Because I don't know. That's a sketchy place for that. Who knows? Who knows?
That was really sketchy. Trust me. We when we played there on Warped, like nobody was like really there, and it was like I'm confused. Why are we playing a show in Kansas? Like I don't know why we're here, but
Right? It's kind of, well, I
it's
mean, we'll see
fucking
how it
hot.
goes.
I think you guys will be great. Any other covers that you're coming out with? Because I know you've done Jamie All Over. I know you've done Driver's License, which is interesting because you separated that from your band Spotify. You did that as your own Spotify account. Why did you do that?
Yeah, it's because my TikTok is more for like personal gain. If I had done this cover like for TikTok on the band account, I probably would have released it.
True.
But the reason why we have Jamie all over is because our friend Jarrett, who owns his own record label called Palm Mute Records, likes to put these compilations together of like all the like some bands in Texas or yeah, I think some bands in Texas. And at the time, when we didn't really have a lot of stuff planned, we were like, yeah, they want to do like a pop punk cover one or like that. So we hopped up on it and we are like, let's just do Jamie All Over by Mayday Parade, which is also why the mixing sounds different too, because it was just before like we did anything. And so yeah, but any other cover is probably on my own Spotify. Um, but I do have another cover that I'm working on, like full one. Um, I wanted to keep it a secret,
Keep it
but
a
I will
secret.
say,
No, you don't have to say it. Fuck it.
okay,
What
I
does
will
it
say
entail to? Like, what's the genre?
if you like Willow Smith,
Sick.
um, it's also gonna feature somebody that we've already talked about through this time. So doing the guy part. So
Okay, cool. I can see it happening. All right.
yeah,
All right.
we
I
were like,
might have an idea what it is. I don't know, but
you can ask me after we're done recording. I can tell you.
I can hold that and be like, haha, nobody's gonna know but me. Like, I love when we do that off record.
Yeah.
Like, I like taking guesses all the time too. I tried guessing Magnolia Park. I was like, you guys definitely got signed. I was like, it's either Hopeless or Equal Vision, and I was wrong. It was Epitaph. I was like, oh, these are you guys are getting
I
signed. So fucking,
so happy that they got signed to Epitaph. I'm
it's a
like, wow,
great
that's a good
label.
it's a great spot for them. That's a great place for them. So very happy for them. They deserve it. They
I can't
deserve it.
wait I can't wait to say the same thing about you and House Parties when that comes through. It's only a matter of time.
Listen, any record label that I mentioned earlier, listen, Pure Noise, Fearless, Fueled by, listen, okay? If you're not on that list, well, actually, you know what? I don't know much about Epitaph, but listen, if you're not on that list, I don't know.
Give them a ring. Call them up. Say, hey, how you doing? Let's sit down in a round
Listen,
table and
this is
talk
gonna
about this.
happen. Is
Yeah.
this happening now or when? Yeah.
Quit your jobs. Get out. Go. Buy a
Listen,
van.
we'll quit our jobs right now. I'm tired of working retail. I'll go right now. I would. I actually would. I
Oh, I
would
would
totally
too. I
quit
would
a job.
too. I would literally like park my truck wherever it's at. I'm like, I'm done. I'm leaving. They're like, where? What about the? I'm like, no, 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 no,
No, no,
no.
no.
I'm
No.
out, dude. No 2 weeks, nothing. Bye. The fuck?
If I literally got like an email saying, "You guys want to get signed to this," and it's one of those three, I would immediately, maybe not Pure Noise, maybe Fearless, but if it was like Filled by, I would march. I would march. I would stop exactly what I was doing, march into my manager's office and be like, "I'm done. I'm out. Bye. I'm walking out."
You wouldn't hire anybody to do a cameo for you, like Island Boys, and you like just tell them to quit for you. Like,
Yeah, well, I could do that too. I'd be like, I'm gonna send my other coworker to go tell you because now I'm too good to even tell. Or I could do one of those like the things that people do on TikTok where they go over the PA system and they're like, "Thank you, whatever place I'm working at. I just want you to know that I'm quitting. I'm tired of everyone here. I'm tired of your shit. I'm tired of your shit. I got a better job. Peace."
yep, tired of being
And they
gaslighted.
quit,
Fuck
walk
this
out.
place.
I love those videos. It's so inspiring. I'm just like, God, you'll make it look just so like satisfying to quit your job that way.
I,
If
I,
you want.
we all wish for it one day. I'm still trying. You're still trying. So like,
Yeah.
it is a fucking process. But I love what everything is going on with House Parties. This is a really, really, really good year that you and the band have had. I can only imagine what the future's like, and I'm very thankful that I found out House Parties via, I think someone in your band. I don't know if it was you or somebody else, but there was like a pop punk networking group, and it changed its name on Facebook. But I think someone put up like a House Party single when I was asking to be put on the playlist. I'm pretty sure that's how I discovered the band.
It was either me or I'm really, 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 really good friends with Alex from In Case We Crash. They're a band from Canada. They're really cool. Um So if I'm not posting house parties, he's always helping out and he posts it for me. So it was one of us
Oh,
probably.
hell yeah. No, because that was like my early days of submissions. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna listen to like 100 bands and pick like
Oh, yeah.
the
I can
best thing to tailor this playlist. Like, my lord, there's so many
like
of us.
anytime that I hear someone be like, I have to listen to like all these submissions, I think about that one iCarly episode where they asked people to submit like dancing videos and they were sitting there on the couch just watching dancing video after dancing video. I'm just like, is that what it's like? They
It
go
is.
next, next. That one might be good next.
It
5 out of
is. It gets
10.
so exhausting so fast. Like,
It
it's not like that bad for me yet. Like, I'll take a week off and like I'll wait for it to build up to like at least 50 submissions, and then I'll be like, all right, then I'll go through all of them. So,
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
it is tiring. But it didn't take me long to be like, house parties, check. So
Oh, thank you.
immediately on the
So
playlist.
nice.
But best of luck to Unsilent Night and on this tour. I am stoked for you and I'm stoked for everybody. I hope that Josh and you can figure out how you're gonna feature each other on each other's sets. So,
Yeah, let's hope we
um,
get the set time soon because I just don't know when we're playing. But you know what? It'll be fine. It'll work out. It'll work out.
and let's make sure that we need to go check out the GoFundMe for helping House Parties Goes on tour, upcoming, which will be the let's see, January 11th all the way to February 12th. So let's
And
get on that.
we'll keep it open. I'd say we wanted to keep it open for like a month, so like right before we left, but like why not keep it open like while we're on tour too? Because some people might like, I don't want to buy anything, but I will support you. Who
Yeah,
knows?
exactly.
So
You never know, and just tell them
keep
to
it
go to the
open.
GoFundMe. Just keep it open. Go donate. Go support this awesome band. And thank you for coming by and talking. I can't wait
Of
for
course.
you to be signed to a label soon. And when I can clip that about Fueled by
Oh,
Ramen, I can just give it to you and be like, "Here you go. Remember when you said this?"
listen, I again like these three labels if you see this. But yeah, no, thank you for having me. This was really fun. I enjoyed it
I can't wait
a
for the
lot.
future for this band and to do this
Me
in person
too.
one day.
Me too. Let me tell you, the next stuff we'll be writing about is more angry songs. That's for
Yes,
sure. I
let's
will say
go.
that because some people have just annoyed and pissed me off, and I don't really have I don't really think about my relationships, so
Mm.
I will think about that
If the art comes calls for it, then it will become the art.
100%.